How's it going, everybody?
Good.
We'll probably start about 12:05. Just gonna wait a few more minutes to begin. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
So while we're waiting, what do you guys think about the calls in the morning?
They're good. It's great to brainstorm and just kind of feel a little bit better about what's going on.
Right. I agree. I think it's cool to see everybody first thing in the morning. All right, well, let's begin. We probably won't go the whole hour and a half, but let's get started. So today's class is over designs. So this is KW's design software. So if I click on the top left in the red KW, I can see what each one of these applets are called. And the one we're going to be going over today is designs. So if you can see this here, these are just some templates that I've created already, but we're actually just going to go through how to create them. Let's take a quick look at some of them that are available, and we'll look at some of the neighborhood videos you can create. So if you hit the blue plus sign at the bottom, this is how you're going to create a flyer or social post or video. So you got designs you could choose as email, social, print, video, or import a PDF. So one of the cool things about this is if you find a nice PDF online somewhere, you can just upload it right up to here and it's completely editable. So let's go on social real quick. Another option you have down here is import photos and text from a listing. I'm going to go ahead and check that because I want to create, I'm going to create a social post for a just listed. So I'm going to check that box and I'm going to hit next. So now it wants us to choose a listing. So I'll just search just going to search any listing. So let's just choose this one. So now I've connected the design software to the specific listing that I want to make a design for. So we'll say I just listed this property and I can go over here. I got my options for what I want to look at. So I'm going to say this is a just listed. So I'm clicking on listings and going to the just listed folder. And these are my available options to make a quick social post about this listing. Keep in mind you have different formats up here. So these are formatted for Facebook, Instagram, the stories, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So pretty much the same designs, it's just they're formatted differently. Any questions on what we've gone through so far? All right, so I'm going to just click on this one here. So I'm going to click on use. And now the design software opens. So it looks like in this photo here, they're showing us a stock image of a kitchen. But here's some of my options to the left. So I have images. So this is my own library of images that I can have in here by clicking on add to library. So those will always show. So that's a good spot for your picture to be. Anything else that you might put on every one of your marketing pieces. Next one down here is text. So if you use the same slogan or same wording or whatever, your team name, email address, if you're going to use that over and over again, it's good to add that to your library so that you could just drag and drop it in. Next one down is icons. So I don't have any icons in my library, but there's some company ones, there's some stock photos. There's all kinds of different things. You'll find image placeholders in here. All kinds of different stuff. Some things I don't know what you would use it for, but it's there. Next option down is logos. So I would have my office's logo in there. So what I'm going to do is, see we have this KWDBA name logo down here. I'm just going to delete that out. And then I can click on the logo I want and drag it in there. So now it's branded to my office and not the DBA name. So that was logos. Under company, in the logos section, you'll find just standard KW logos, but check with your board or your state. You probably have to have the doing business as name, so such as Northwest Indiana here. And then they have the equal housing opportunity NAR logos in there for you. So next icon down is KWLS. So the cool thing about this design software is because I selected that listing at the beginning, it's connected to the MLS and it has now it has all the pictures in there. So I've selected this picture that I want to replace. If I come over here to my photos, we see that we got some options. We can either add this image in, we can replace an image, or we can use it as a background. Since I've selected this picture right here, see that it's got the circles around it, I can resize it. If I click on this replace image button, it'll just replace the image for me. So I don't have to drag and drop, I don't have to add it in and resize it, it'll just replace it. Any questions on that? So I got my one picture in there that this template allows me to have. Of course, you can add more if you want to. But now I'm going to fix some of this, the 3 beds, 2 baths. It might not have 3 beds, 2 baths. Those are just stock text. So what I'm going to do is if I come over here to listing details now, I get some information on the properties. So this particular one, it doesn't look like they're showing us a bed and bath on here. I know they do. I wonder if there's a reason why they're not showing it on this particular listing. And I just chose any listing. However, if I knew that this was a, if I knew this was a 2-bedroom house, I can change this text just by clicking on it, resizing a little bit. And change it that way. Same with all the other text boxes. So it looks like we got the price in there. Now, if I see the price right here, I could just come over here and click replace. And then I'm just going to get rid of this USD on here. And then we have our address. If we got the address down at the bottom here, I'm going to go ahead and replace that. And then pretty much when you do replacing, you just want to make sure that everything's fitting correctly, resize it, rechange, decrease the size or change the font, whatever you'd want to do. So any questions about that? So now, if say I was completed with this social post, I would come up here where I have some options. I got file, I can restore previous versions, undo, redo. This is the name of this piece, and then we have download options, share options, or done. What I'm going to do is just a best practice is I'm always going to name the file by the address. And we see over here that it's saved. I believe that it should be saving whenever you make changes. However, it's always a good idea to come over here to File and Save. So we've got our name in there, and now let's go to the download options. So JPEG, you can download it as a JPEG, a PNG file, or you can get it as a PDF. If I was going to post to Facebook, there is a share option here, and you could share it to Facebook. I don't think that I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing it this way. I think that it doesn't show properly. I don't know, maybe they've fixed that yet. But what I would do is go to download, get PNG, and then click start download. You see up here, it's preparing the download, and then you'll find it at the bottom left of your screen or whichever browser you're using. Firefox, you'll see it at the top right. So any questions about downloading? So just some other interface things here. If you're looking around at the bottom right, you have your zoom in and out. So if you're having a hard time seeing a particular section, you can zoom in. This might be easier when you're changing text, so you can see it a little easier. Then you can zoom out, of course. And then some other things you got. So if I'm on the text here, you get your text box options. So how do I want the alignment to be? Do I want to make this bold? Do I want to change the color? Do I want to change font type? They have tons of different fonts in here. If you're familiar with Publisher, this is really kind of like Publisher or Canva. I've never personally used Canva, but I hear that it's pretty much like that. So any questions on here so far? So say you were working around with this and you completely screwed it up and you wanted to go back, you can click on this previous versions up here, and it'll, every time you save, it should save the previous version for you so that you can go back. Don't be afraid to ask if you have any questions. So next I'm going to click on Done. And now I can see that I have this saved with the name that I saved it as under my design templates in Command. So let's click on the blue plus sign again, and let's take a quick look at just what's available. So I'm going to click on Print this time, and I'm not going to select Import Photos or Text from a listing. So under the KW app folder right here, they have tons of different designs for you to use if you want to promote your app. Keep in mind, when you click on the folder here, you do have more options up here. So do I want a flyer? Do I want to do postcards? Large postcards or just standard? So under the listing folder now, to the left, we have listing presentations. There's 2 of them. One thing to keep in mind, and I will be doing the KW app class that's coming up during the month. With these listing presentations, they are formatted to match the way the guide works on the KW app, the new one. And we'll kind of look at that when I host that class. However, just keep in mind that they match the guide in the app, so we want to make sure if we change something in this listing presentation that we want to change it in our app settings as well. So here's our for sale. We have door hangers, flyers, postcards, trifolds, bifolds. So you'll need ledger paper for that. We have our just listed, same thing. A lot of the designs kind of are the same, they're just formatted differently. Price drops. Neighborhood snaps are pretty interesting. So if I click on use on a neighborhood snap, we could customize this flyer to, is customizable to whatever neighborhood I wanted to farm per se. So if I'm looking at this, I would say, hey, Barton Hills, and then I have my stats down here. And these stats are generated automatically through here. So if I go to KWLS, on the left, and then snapshots, I can search for a neighborhood. So here we see I just put in a zip code. I didn't put in a specific neighborhood. It is a little touchy when you're searching neighborhoods. Got to know the name of the neighborhood and how it's named on Nextdoor. However, if this is for Schererville, Indiana, this is where our office is located. So I just put in that zip code, and here's the stats for that zip code. So if I wanted to change this image out now, I would just click on it and then replace that image with the stats for Schererville. Then up here, I could put a Schererville. Just edit that a little bit. Move this over. And then I would just type in my little description here, just kind of like how they have it. So they get quick stats. It's a piece of value. You could do this in about 5 to 10 minutes if you were going to go out door knocking or mail it or whatever you were going to do. So here we see we got this random agent's picture here. You would want to change that out with your own, put your own name, and of course this logo here. Any questions so far? So I'm going to click done. I don't want to save this. I don't need to. Going to click the blue plus sign again, and we'll go back to print real quick. Just finish looking at the rest of the options that are there. So we just looked at neighborhood snaps, how to create those. You have some open house door hangers here. Just sold, and local expert. For buyers, we have more neighborhood snaps, Keller Mortgage, and the buyer presentation. So just like the listing presentations, the buyer presentation should match how it looks on the guide on the new KW app. So keep in mind, if you change something on one or the other, you want to make sure you change it on either the app or the presentation, whichever you've changed. So next one is lead generation. So this is home value, standard postcards, flyers. If you're hosting an event somewhere and you want something to send out, you can use these. You do have options on here to make business cards. So what you would do on these is you would create your business card on here, download it as a PDF, and send it to your local printer for them to print those business cards out for you. And then letterhead is in there as well. And they have options for leadership here. So events that are happening, training courses, and then just a flyer about the app. And then they have new designs, which is pretty much the same. They just put whatever's new for that month or week in that specific area. So I'm going to hit the X here, go back to command. I'm going to hit the blue plus sign again and go to social real quick. We'll take a quick look and see what's in there. So pretty much the same thing as the print, but these are more designed for Facebook, Instagram. So lead generation, there's a little bit more more pieces in the lead generation section of the social section there. Home values, holiday greetings. So they have some birthday pieces in here. So if I were you, I would maybe come in here. Facebook already tells us whose birthday it is every day. So what I would do is come in here, take 5-10 minutes to go through whose birthday it is on Facebook, come in here and personalize one of these images just for that person and post that to their Facebook page rather than just writing happy birthday like every other single person does on their Facebook wall. Just a thought there. Some KW stuff, some quotes from Gary. They do have email signatures. They also have the Facebook covers, Twitter covers. So this is the image you see at the top of everybody's Facebook page, formatted to fit perfectly in there, and of course customizable. And then new designs. And then these are some posts that I've seen people already posting. Kiki posts them out or Jacqueline, you'll see her name as on Facebook. She's been posting the daily stats of what's happened in the 24-hour period for our MLSs. So if you wanted to dress it up a little bit, you can come into command and type in the stats and then post that to your Facebook page. So any questions about that?
That's pretty awesome, man.
Oh, David, you joined us.
Yeah, I was on the call with Colleen.
Yeah, they got some good pieces on here. One of the cool things, if you click on My Designs here, is the ability to import any PDF that you want and be able to edit it. I could say firsthand, me and David both pay for Adobe Creative Cloud, and that allows us to edit PDFs.
Yep.
However, I don't remember how much it is a month or a year, but I think it's like $100-some a year.
Well, I pay for the big dog version. It's much more expensive for me.
Yeah, I only pay for the Adobe Acrobat DC and whatever other pieces come with it. But the ability to do that, so I even think I heard Gary say it at family reunion, is if you found a PDF that someone was using online and you really liked it, you just upload it and use it yourself.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he even said if you found a flyer at an open house, you could grab it and upload it and edit it.
Yeah. So just another value add to the agents. You can upload any PDF and edit it right in here.
It's pretty remarkable, and it's super easy. I walked an agent through it just like you're doing just the other day. It's super simple.
Or if you're going through here and you're looking at the templates and there's nothing that you like in there, you can come in here, My Designs, and start from scratch. It'll give you a blank canvas and you can create it however you want to. You can see here, these are some of my designs that I've used in the past. Sometimes when I have a class for the office, I will make the Facebook image here so you can see this one. Let me view it real quick. So this is kind of how I came in real quick, just to make a quick reminder of the classes that were going on that particular day. And another good thing too is if I really love this just listed postcard that I created and I wanted to use it for another listing, I could just click these three dots here and click duplicate. And so now I have a second one that I can go in and edit for a new listing. So if you're really worried about sticking with the same branding on Facebook or Twitter, whichever one, this is a quick way to do that. All right, guys, any questions so far? All right, so one of the last pieces we're going to show here is how to create these neighborhood videos. So I am in Command. I'm at Designs, and I'm going to click on the plus sign, and then I'm going to choose Video this time. All right, so if I'm going to look for a neighborhood, it's well, I clicked on Create a Video, and it's asking me to search for a neighborhood. So I am searching this neighborhood. This is the neighborhood I live in Tinley Park. I'm checking the box there, and I'm going to hit Next at the bottom. Okay, so one thing about the neighborhood videos is that it allows you to customize or change the information that's shown on it. So earlier we looked at the neighborhood snaps. I don't believe that those are customizable yet. However, so if you found that the information didn't seem correct in one of these neighborhoods, you can always come in here and change it. So here's my name of the neighborhood. Here's our average home price, and it is on the decline. Price per square feet. It's holding steady. Number of homes for sale in this particular neighborhood is 2, and the average days on market is 24. So neighborhood features, you get to pick 3 of these. So animal advocates, yep, there's a lot of people running around here with dogs. Fitness oriented, right outside our courtyard here, we have a walking trail that goes for miles. Travelers are here. I don't know if I agree with that one. So I'm going to exit out. And I could come in here and choose another one. So let's see, we got hardworking, healthy foods, live music, moviegoers, nature. So there's a lot of nature around where I live, so I'm going to choose that one. Maybe I'll get rid of animal advocates and put dog lovers in. So you can pick up to 3. So then now I'm going to go to the next section where it says agent information. And as long as you got your marketing profile all filled out, this should all be filled in for you. And same with market center information. That should all be filled in for you as well. Any questions on this particular section here so far? All right, so I'm going to hit next. Take about 10 seconds to create your video. All right, so from this point on now, it's wanting me to take a look at it. So if you hit the press play there, you can watch the video. if I reviewed it and everything's fine, I could either, if there was something wrong or if I didn't like what I chose for my top 3 things, I can click back and I can change those. So you got a quick 1-minute video that's automatically generated with most of all the information that's, that you can share to Facebook. So I'm going to click save. Go back to designs. And so now in designs here is the video we just created. I can use it in campaigns. I can share it right to my Facebook page from here, or I can download it as a video and then post it to wherever I want to. So any questions on creating that video?
No, it was awesome.
All right, any questions in general on designs? Dave, you got any?
Yeah, so Corey, I'm just because it's there and it's not necessarily, and maybe you covered it because I missed the first 25 minutes on landing pages because it's in designs. What's best practices on that? Because obviously when you click it, you get, you get this template, if you will, and then you almost have to, you're kind of going back out of it in order to bring up the landing pages. So what's best practices with that? Are we allowed, and this is a real nerd question here, are we allowed to use custom masked URLs for these things? Can we create a landing page for multiple neighborhoods and like mass text or mass email it out? I'm just curious, what's best practices for landing pages?
So when you clicked on this plus sign before, they used to have a, I think they used to have a landing page button here. But if I go to consumer and then landing pages, I can create a landing page here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, people are creating landing pages just for a specific listing. So if you went out and, I don't know, you could buy a URL that's called 123mainstreet.com, and that's how you can promote a listing if you wanted to, or like you said, you can buy a URL for a specific neighborhood and have it point to your landing page.
That's awesome.
I don't know off the top of my head if you can, because it's going to give you a URL here.
Yeah, you just have to do domain
gotta point
forward
it.
with masking, probably.
Right. So this is probably a class in on itself doing these landing pages, but if you just take a quick look, here you have your canvas where you can actually build the landing page. So, and to the right is your widgets of what you want in the landing page. So here's branded header. If I wanted that, I would drag it over.
Nice.
If I had a specific listing I wanted to show here, so if I was creating this as a listing landing page, I choose that. Really what we're doing right now at this section is we're just designing what we want our landing page to look like. So it's going to show you some wacky listing from somewhere, other than what you're doing. And then here we'll go down. Say I want to put in download my app widget down there. So say I've built out my landing page the way I wanted it. Then I would come here to configure widgets at the bottom. So branded header should be pretty much done already. It's got whatever's in your marketing profile. If I go to listing, I can browse listings. We'll just choose this one because it looks nice.
Yeah.
So here's all my images. So what do I want as my header image? I'm going to choose that one. Hit save and apply.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
So now it's connected to that specific listing. We see the beds, baths, the square feet, whatever the description is in the MLS is in there. The pictures, information, where it is on the map. And then the download my app widget should also be branded to you as the agent already. So you could just change the button text. So this button text here, whatever's showing in the description, and then the headline. So if I wanted to change the headline, download my awesome new app. Type that in. It's a limit of 30 characters. Save and apply. And now we see that the headline text is different.
That's cool.
So if I'm done with this now, I'm going to name this. Up at the top. This is 2021 Old River Road. It's interesting that it's got two roads there. You see that? 2021 Old River Road.
Stop right down the road.
Looks like that's how it's coming in from the MLS though. Anyways, so I'm changing the name up here, and then I'm going to hit save landing page. Yes, I'm going to save it. Okay, so I saved it, and now it's in draft mode here. I have to go back in and edit. And I'm going to click on required fields. Let's see. Headlines in. Oh. So what it told me is that I didn't have all my required text fields in. So you got to go through the widgets and kind of just go through the ones that have the red star here and make sure that you've filled in all the required information before you can publish. So now my publish page button is open here. I'm able to click on it now. It's going to ask you, would you like to publish this as a landing page? We'll click yes. So now if I really wanted to promote that one specific listing, I just could buy a URL that's called, you go to GoDaddy or Google, whichever, and buy a URL that's 2021oldriverroad.com. And then I would point that URL to this URL here. Or you just share this page, whichever one works for you. But so here's our quick and easy landing page. If you get the hang of it and you go in and practice it a few times, this should take you 5 minutes tops to make a quick, simple landing page for each one of your listings.
Hey, Cory, I'm just curious, is there any kind of call to action where, like, if someone, so if I was doing a listing, a landing page like this, and someone wanted to contact me directly about this listing, or if it was a neighborhood set up, like, is there anything in that little spot where, like, they can fill something out, or it will give them a prompt like, well, now I want to know what my home's worth, or now I
So
want
like a contact my agent button or contact agent.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. I didn't. I think that they did. Oh, a lead form. So you got to put this lead form in. Let's see. So probably towards the bottom, or I can add in a button that you could link to an outside link or whichever you were going to do. Or if I wanted a lead capture form, I could place that in where they could put in their name, email address, phone number, that kind of stuff.
That's pretty sweet, man.
If you got a section in here that you don't want, you got to click on that section and you get your options to move it up, move it around, or delete. So if I was finished, if I was making changes to my landing page real quick, I would just click publish page again. And now that should be updated.
Nice, man. Real solid.
One thing to keep in mind, I'm hearing that sometimes notifications aren't coming through from the Kelly app on your cell phone. I would make it standard at least 3 or 4 times a day, or set yourself every 2 hours to just jump onto command real quick and check this this bell at the top next to your name. Notifications are working pretty well in there. So if you are running Facebook ads, or actually I think the Facebook leads are coming into Kelly pretty well, but if I got other things going on like listing page, the landing pages or anything like that, if I want to know when I turn in a file, if my file's in compliance or not, all them notifications are happening here at this bell. So it's an important spot to see there. And when you do have a notification, you'll see that the bell has a red dot on the top of it. So any other questions about designs or the landing pages we were just looking at? That's pretty much it. Me and Ubaldo said that these are not all going to be an hour and a half long, but we will always stay on for the hour and a half if you have additional questions about command. So let me know if you got questions. I'd be happy to help you with anything on here.
It's awesome, man. Love it.
No questions? Anybody?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
My website goes through this, right? Like my personal website?
Yes.
How do I fix that? Because I know you kind of went over a little bit of it, but
So do you own your own domain? So like the URL. So mine would be www.corywent.com. You don't have to own it. I'm just asking if you had one.
No.
Okay. So if you wanted to look at your website information, you come to you come down here to consumer. Have you set up the website at all yet?
I'm not too sure. I had Scott kind of go through it and stuff, but I haven't really done anything on it.
Okay. So so if I was in consumer and I went to agent sites, this is where I can take a look at what's going on my website as far as what pages I have, or I can see what my URL is. So this is my quick and dirty website. I don't have anything spectacular on here. Right now I only have, I have a page actually called Working on It. I haven't done anything to it yet. I have a download my app page, and then just about me. But all these pages are, all these pages can be designed through here. So just like we were creating that landing page a minute ago, it's pretty much the same concept. There is some Facebook groups where you can go on. So one of them is a great one, is Command Your Conversion on Facebook. If you haven't gone on to that, I would definitely join that group. They're posting tons of different ways that you can add mortgage calculators and do all this different stuff on there.
Oh, okay.
So KW just gave us a real basic site to get it out there. Of course, more functionality is going to be coming later on down the road. But it's really what I got there. We could probably, I could talk to Ubaldo and see if we can maybe do a side-by-side class, me and him going over the agent site together.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because really there's just basic customizations you can do right now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Do we have a website class scheduled?
Let me check the calendar.
Yeah, because I can't remember. I know we have an app class scheduled. I don't know about the.
So these are Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm seeing Smart Plan emails is on the 9th. I'm seeing Facebook ads and DocuSign. I'm seeing database and consumer experience and getting paid and another designs class.
All right, so maybe me and Ubaldo will take a look at that other designs class that's at the end of the month and turn that into an agent sites class.
Okay.
Just so we can take a look at, how we can add more pages. And, just take a look and see what we can change, what we can't change right now. But if you haven't gone in, I would just click on this where it says Learn More with Kelly Guides and go through it, fill out the basic information that it wants you to do. And then later on down the road, start adding in, you can figure out how to start adding in more pages. And I think that's what we'll do on that last designs class of the month.
Okay, sounds good.
Any other quick questions?
Oh, this was awesome, dude. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome.
Thanks, Cory.
You're welcome.